Running teacher trainings is what keeps most yoga studios alive. That's the open secret of the industry. And it's why every owner eventually does the same napkin math. 12 students times $3,000 equals $36,000. And oh, look, a teacher training pays for itself. Then they actually try to run one, and the real number is somewhere else entirely. Higher if you build it yourself, lower if you do it right. I'm Sage Rountree. I'm an ERYT 500 and American Yoga Council Level 2 accredited teacher trainer, and I have been running 200-hour yoga teacher training since 2011 with a 4.89 out of 5 rating across almost 150 Yoga Alliance reviews. I have also been on the other side of the spreadsheet, watching studio owners try to make this pencil out. In this video, I'll walk you through the 3 real cost models: build it yourself, buy a template, or license a full curriculum through partnership, what each one actually covers, and the line item almost every studio forgets when they run the math. By the end of this video, you will know which model fits your situation, what the true all-in number looks like, and whether your current tuition can actually carry the program you want to run. Model 1 is to build your own registered yoga school. This is the path most studio owners imagine when they first dream up a training. You become the RYS, you write the curriculum, you own every piece of it. Here's what that actually costs. Curriculum development, maybe 200 to 400 hours of skilled faculty time. If you are paying yourself even a modest $50 an hour for that level of work, you are already at $10,000 to $20,000 spent before anyone signs up. If you're outsourcing pieces, lecturers, anatomy specialists, philosophy consultants, add more. Yoga Alliance, the RYS 200 application fee, the annual school fee once you're registered, and individual fees for each faculty member. Several $100s for each, totaling several thousand. It's not the hard part, but it's real and ongoing. Your lead trainer. Yoga Alliance requires the lead trainer of a RYS 200 to hold the ERYT 500 credential. That's 500 hours of training plus 2,000 documented teaching hours after completion. If that is you, great. If it's not, you're hiring or contracting someone, and experienced lead trainers are not going to be cheap. Textbooks and materials, required reading lists, student manuals, slide decks, assessment rubrics, practicum evaluation forms. Either you are licensing these from other authors or you are writing them from scratch. The revision cycle. Your first cohort is where your materials get stress tested in real time. Module 3 lands flat, your anatomy lectures are too dense, your ethics section needs a rewrite. Plan on at least a second round of curriculum work after cohort 1. Rough all-in for a careful build of your YTT is $15,000 to $40,000 in both hard and soft costs before a single tuition dollar comes in, plus roughly 12 to 18 months of calendar time. That timeline is the part nobody talks about. You're a full year in before enrollment opens. Model 2 is to buy a template curriculum. You would pay a flat fee, usually $2,000 to $5,000, maybe $8,000, for a binder, some decks, a student manual, and some version of a sequencing framework. A few providers sell this kind of package. It's the middle path, faster than building, cheaper than partnering, and generic by design because the same package has to sell to studios in Durham, Dublin, and Dubai. Here's what the template doesn't cover. You are still the RYS of record. You still write the Yoga Alliance application. You still pay the annual fees. You still need an ERYT 500 lead trainer. You still handle every update when Yoga Alliance standards shift. You inherit someone else's sequencing philosophy, often without the author of that philosophy available to answer your trainees' questions. And when a trainee asks you why the curriculum takes a particular stance on alignment or cueing or sequencing, you're the one defending choices you didn't make. The rough all-in would be $2,000 to $8,000 for the template, plus the RYS application and annual fees, plus your lead trainer's time, plus whatever hours you spend adapting the generic materials to your studio's voice. Let's call it $6,000 to $15,000 in year 1, with 3 to 6 months of setup. Model 3 is to license a full curriculum through partnership. This is the model I run, and of course it's the one I'm partial to. You don't become the RYS. I remain the registered yoga school with dual accreditation through both Yoga Alliance and the American Yoga Council, and you deliver my curriculum at your studio. Here's what's included when you partner: the full online curriculum for your students to move through in any of the 3 formats: video lectures, private podcast, and complete transcripts. All 4 required textbooks are authored by me, already slotted into the reading list. The S.E.R.V.E method and the 642 sequencing framework are your pedagogical spine. You'll get a private circle community for each of your cohorts, so your trainees have a place to be together, to network, and to ask questions between sessions. You'll get 6 months of Prep Station membership for postgraduate onboarding of every trainee who finishes the program. They'll then get lifetime access to The Zone, my free community of over 2,500 yoga teachers. And we'll do facilitator training for your lead instructor, who needs to be an ERYT 200 at minimum, ERYT 500 preferred, but does not need to carry the full lead trainer credential, because under the partnership, that is my role. I handle Yoga Alliance administration. I handle compliance when the standards change. I handle the curriculum updates. You're rough all in for year 1, an upfront licensing and facilitator training fee, plus a per-cohort licensing fee that scales with enrollment. The math will get laid out when you and I have a partnership conversation, because it's sized to your cohort and exactly what we are going to build for you. Here's what you're not paying for: the 12-month curriculum build, the RYS application, the ERYT 500 lead trainer salary line, or the textbook authorship. There is no minimum cohort, so if your first round is 5 trainees instead of 15, you can still run. Geographic exclusivity is a case-by-case conversation, not a blanket rule. The pilot version of this partnership model is running right now at my own in-person training studio. So this isn't a hypothetical, it is in the field with real trainees right now. Here's the line item almost every studio forgets. Every cost model above answers the question, how do I deliver the training? Almost nobody answers the next one, and what happens to my graduates after they finish? A completed 200-hour is not a finished teacher. Graduates need a landing pad, ongoing practice, mentorship through their first paid classes, a community of peers who remember what it felt like to sweat through their next sub-assignment, a clear next step, whether it's a 300-hour or specialty trainings or simply continuing education hours, to keep their credential active. If your program doesn't have that, most of your graduates will drift. They'll teach 1 or 2 classes, get their first rough feedback, and quietly stop. Your alumni network stays theoretical. Your studio's reputation as a teacher maker never actually builds because the teachers you made aren't teaching anymore. This is why I built Prep Station and The Zone in the first place, and it's why every graduate of a partner studio's cohort gets dropped straight into both. 6 months of Prep Station membership covers class design under real constraints, contract negotiation, private lesson pipelines, handling difficult students, and the first-year teaching questions that only show up once you're really in the room. The Zone is the free community they stay in after that. 2,500 plus teachers, weekly practice, continuing education, peer support. Your graduates enter an ecosystem the day they certify. If you're building your own program, that infrastructure is a multi-year project on top of the curriculum itself. If you're running a template, it doesn't exist at all. If you partner, it's already there. Here's the honest tuition picture. Most studios charge $2,800 to $4,500 per trainee for a 200-hour. A cohort of 10 to 14 students is common, though plenty of first cohorts run smaller. Do the math on your own price point and cohort size and compare it against the all-in costs above. The math of building your own works eventually, once you've amortized the curriculum development across 4 or 5 cohorts. The math of buying a template works if your local market tolerates generic materials and you're willing to defend someone else's curriculum choices. The math of partnership will work in year 1, not year 5, and the downstream retention keeps your graduates in your ecosystem instead of drifting off 6 months after certification. And underneath all 3, there's the real question. Running a 200-hour teacher training is a real investment of time, attention, and reputation. The cost spreadsheet is only part of it. The other part is whether the teachers who graduate from your program actually go on to teach. Studio owners, what number did your napkin math actually land on, and what line item did you leave off? Is it build costs, post-grad support, your own time? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to chat about it. If you want to see the partnership numbers run against your specific cohort size and price point, the partner inquiry form is in the description. Fill it out, tell me about your studio and what you're envisioning, and let's have a real conversation. It won't be a sales pitch. It's going to be a look at the math for your unique situation. Running a 200-hour YTT is a real investment either way. The question worth asking isn't just whether the tuition covers the cost, it's whether your graduates walk out of the program and actually become teachers. That's where the real return lives, yours and theirs.